LA This Week.
I'm Anna Marcos. Plans to let Uber and Lyft pick up passengers at LAX could be delayed as the city takes jurisdiction, citing safety issues. That's coming up.
The city of LA one step closer to new rules for owners of unused firearms such as this one. I'm Gil Reyes with a story next.
A Brawl Heights rooftop is now helping to bring LA's east side into the clean energy movement. What the LADWP FIT program is all about, coming up. Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. Our top story this week, a proposed city ordinance forcing new rules on gun owners moves one step closer to becoming law. Gil Reyes reports from City Hall.
Owners of unused firearms laying around the house may want to purchase one of these before it becomes the law. It's a trigger lock, and unless you have the key or the combination, you cannot pull the trigger once the lock is properly fastened.
For those three very important reasons, protecting children, reducing suicides, and reducing the number of guns that are available for crime on the street, this was an important step forward.
Councilman Paul Krikorian, the measure's author, and his colleagues on the LA City Council clear the way for a final vote. If this measure passes, it would require owners of unused firearms such as this one to either store them away in locked containers or fasten them with trigger locks. Failure to do so would be considered a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor that could mean up to 6 months in jail and a $10,000 fine. Recently, City Council passed another gun control measure, this one banning the possession of high-capacity magazines. These are mags capable of loading 10 rounds of ammunition or more. Law enforcement excluded from the new rule. But council members Mitchell Englander and Joe Buscaino want exemptions for retired police officers, too. Buscaino says retired cops are trained to handle the devices and may need them more than the average citizen for protection.
Cops are being targeted, both cops who are on duty and those who have served municipalities across this country.
Language in the proposed amendment is still being considered before it returns to the council for a vote. Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Councilman Paul Krikorian authored both gun control measures. While plans to bring Uber and Lyft pickup to LAX are temporarily on standby, as the City of Angels takes a second look at the Airport Commission's plan to bring in the ride services, city leaders and opponents have concerns over safety and lack of regulation. Anna Marcos takes a look.
Rideshare options such as Uber and Lyft could become the rides of the future, but the services will have to wait a little longer to become the rides at LAX.
The person getting into that vehicle, it's our obligation to make sure that person is safe.
The Airport Commission voted recently to allow airport pickup by Uber and Lyft, but City Council members are saying not so fast. They're concerned about adequate insurance, disabled accessibility, criminal background checks that don't require fingerprinting, and the lack of regulation. Up before the City Council, a vote to decide whether to take jurisdiction so they could study the plan further.
And in order to review that under our city charter, we have to assert jurisdiction.
But I think it would be absolutely irresponsible for us not to have that conversation.
Currently, ride-sharing services can drop off passengers at the airport but can't pick them up. Instead, they often pick up passengers at nearby car rental lots or hotels.
The Uber system is a great system here in the States. Make our life easier, cleaner cards, better service.
I mean, I'm from New York. I can get an Uber at Newark or JFK very easily, and it's been very efficient.
But some want to stop rideshare in its tracks. Taxi drivers say rideshare drivers should follow the same tough regulations they follow, such as rigorous background checks. The Airport Commission's plan would allow Uber and Lyft to get permits if they carry the required insurance and pay airport and monthly fees.
What we are asking is enforce your rules and regulations.
The issue drew heated discussion at City Council.
Ride-sharing has quickly become an important part of our community, economy, and transportation network.
You, as council members, should discuss and determine whether a background check without fingerprinting is good enough for the citizens of Los Angeles.
Passengers demand choice,
and passengers need choice if we're ever going to get out of gridlock here in Los Angeles.
Council members voted 11-2 to take jurisdiction and study the plan. The matter could go to committee this month, but rideshare service providers still hope they can offer pickup at LAX by the end of the summer. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
A recent story by the LA Times reported that at least 4 Uber drivers who received citations at LAX had criminal backgrounds, which included child exploitation, DUI, identity theft, and manslaughter. Well, a big victory for animal rights activists. After years of debate, officials have passed a statewide ban on bobcat trapping, or the slaughtering of bobcats for their fur. As Gil Reyes reports, a daring ad campaign preceded the vote. We should warn you, the video you're about to see may be disturbing.
Weeks before the big decision to ban bobcat trapping statewide, animal activists went on the attack.
We need to save our wildlife, we need to save our bobcats, and be a voice for the voiceless, and that's why we're here today.
Model Katie Cleary from the TV game show Deal or No Deal among the celebrities featured on this billboard in West LA. Using a bit of star power, the ad urges fish and game officials to ban the trap or support a full ban on bobcat trapping. The activists got their wish.
The population has been decimated by increased trapping because their pelts are becoming more valuable, particularly in Asian countries. And so it's time to stop before these endangered animals become extinct.
West Side Councilman Paul Koretz had authored a city council resolution supporting the ban. Bobcats are targeted for their fur, sold in China and Russia for hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars per pelt. Bobcat trappers dispute the decision. They had asked state officials to postpone their vote until an official updated count of the bobcat population took place to determine if they truly are endangered. The last official count was in the 1970s.
There's no way to know, but the demand has risen and the price for these pelts have gone up.
Also going up, pressure from the entertainment industry to protect animals. You may recall talk show host Jimmy Kimmel recently got serious to protest the killing of a lion for sport. And of course, there's this ad, which is hard to miss if you're driving along this busy stretch of Santa Monica Boulevard. In West LA, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Fish and game officials approved the ban on a vote of 3-2. Well, LA's Boyle Heights is the latest to throw its hat in the ring when it comes to providing clean, renewable energy for the City of Angels. It's all part of the LADWP's FIT program. Anna Marcos joins us from Boyle Heights Rooftop with more. Anna.
Yana, all these solar panels mean 300 kilowatts of energy now going into the LA grid, enough to power another 100 LA homes.
3, 2, 1.
City leaders have just flipped the switch, sending a new source of clean energy into the LA grid. This commercial building becomes the first in Boyle Heights to install solar panels and join the LADWP's FIT, or Feed-in Tariff program.
Feed-in Tariff is a program that allows larger rooftops to participate by putting solar on their roofs and selling that energy to DWP, and we redistribute it throughout the city.
The program is part of LA's ongoing effort to find new and renewable sources of energy and to grow less reliant on fossil fuels.
Everyone benefits. The environment benefits, which means we all benefit, create local jobs, and also help local businesses.
Even better, the building is in one of LA's so-called solar equity hotspots.
A hotspot is a community that is disadvantaged, has a high unemployment rate, and has very little renewable energy. And 40% of all the FIT projects are in solar hotspots.
The City of LA has set a goal to be completely off coal energy by the year 2025, and this roof is already getting it closer to that goal. Yana?
Thanks, Anna. While many smaller apartment buildings may have enough area on their rooftops to join the FIT program, the LADWP is also working on a program for homeowners who want to produce solar energy for the city and may not have the correct roofs. That program could roll out next year. Well, a scathing report by the nonprofit group TRIP ranks Southern California roads as among the worst in the nation, second only to the San Francisco Bay Area. But just within LA city limits, crews have worked hard to change that over the past year. Gil Reyes explains.
Imagine a narrow street riddled with bumps and potholes stretching from Los Angeles to New York. Now imagine repaving all of it within 12 months. Is that even possible? Local leaders say our city has just accomplished a similar feat.
We will have paved the 2,400th mile of LA streets in this fiscal year, a new record for the city of Los Angeles.
LA Mayor Eric Garcetti says the improvements should lessen the likelihood of busted tires and wheel axles for LA drivers. This final mile of record-breaking paving for the fiscal year taking place on Figueroa Street in Highland Park. Much of it is now covered with a fresh batch of smooth black asphalt.
Today proves that the city of Los Angeles can do more with less, and that there is plenty of room to operate more efficiently.
Today we finished paving about almost 10% of the city's streets in 1 year, and we'll do it again next year.
From fixing streets, the mayor then shifted the focus to fixing sidewalks. A recent settlement sets aside over $1 billion for sidewalk repairs citywide over the next 30 years. But whether or not homeowners and property owners should pay for repairs near their property is still up for debate. The mayor offers his take.
In the short term, we're saying we should fix it. And before we return the responsibility, I don't want to speak for the council, they still have to take up the policy, but I'll speak as mayor. I don't think that we should force anybody to fix it or have responsibility before we fix it, certainly as a homeowner. We should make those repairs and give them the capacity to deal with the trees that 3 years later may cause those sidewalks to be buckled again.
Meantime, the drive through Highland Park is expected to be a lot smoother. Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The city had previously given that stretch of Figueroa an F rating for road quality. Today, it receives an A. While they contain your personal information and instead of throwing them into the trash, many folks recently made sure their old documents don't come back to haunt them. Boxes of old papers and documents were destroyed as community members in Granada Hills lined up to get rid of all kinds of paperwork for free.
Old insurance cards, old registration, probably old citations that probably some of these fellas given me in the past. But all that stuff is, hindsight now. And it's good to protect your identity in that regard.
The LAPD partnered with LA Crime Stoppers, a nonprofit that operates an anonymous crime tip line, for this fundraising and shredding event held at the Target on Balboa Boulevard. Organizers say the fundraiser gives folks a way to protect their identity by shredding their personal documents.
People think, oh, I just throw it in the trash and I don't have to worry about it. No, this is one sure way of making sure that your personal documents are not going to fall in the hands of a criminal or someone that's going to use that to their advantage.
LAPD works with Crime Stoppers to coordinate and investigate incoming crime tips. Officials say some of those tips have helped them solve cases.
Past month alone, we had about 158 tips that came in. Of those, about 29, almost 30 of them came out into yielding an arrest, which is very good.
The Crime Stoppers tip line, which averages about 900 tips a month, is completely anonymous, so officials are encouraging community members to continue sending them leads. There are several ways you can submit a tip by calling 800-222-TIPS or texting the letters TIP LA and your tip to 274637 or go online to lacrimestoppers.org. Just months ago, the mayor unveiled his sustainable city plan, and now a pilot project in the works will put LA a giant step ahead in cleaning up the air. The program will start in the poorest and most polluted LA communities. Anna Marcos has the story.
State and city leaders are launching what they hope becomes an electrical vehicle revolution that reaches into the lowest income communities, those neighborhoods often most affected by pollution.
We understand that we have a responsibility to act, not only for the sake of our planet, but for future generations, and also for the health of our communities as well as the health of our economy.
Senator Kevin De Leon has authored 2 state bills which will use greenhouse gas reduction and cap-and-trade revenue funds to launch a $1.6 million pilot program. The project will bring electric vehicle ride-sharing to 4 of LA's poorest neighborhoods: South LA, Pico Union, Westlake, and Koreatown.
This is an opportunity to improve our neighborhoods that
suffer the most from air pollution and other challenges.
Every EV is contributing to cleaning up our air.
The program would include a membership and work much like Zipcar-type ride-sharing programs, only cheaper and using electric vehicles.
The idea is you'd sign up. Once you're a member, you'd go on, reserve your vehicle. Let's say you have a 9 a.m. doctor's appointment an hour away. You'd pick up the car at 8 o'clock, go to your doctor's appointment, return the car by 11, and you'd be charged a per hour basis in most cases.
And other research has shown car share creating savings of $150 to over $400 a month for car share members.
I will be using it because it's convenient, it's economical.
The City Council could approve the funds this month. The city would then find an operator to run the ride-sharing program, which could start as early as the end of the year. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
LA beat out other California cities for the award. Well, LAPD officers get ready to rumble in the ring to raise money for families of fallen comrades. Gil Reyes reports from ringside.
LAPD Metro Division Officer Guillermo Garcia goes mano y mano for charity.
Today is the Brawl at City Hall. It's the first annual event that we're going to be having here. All the proceeds and benefits going to go to our Memorial Foundation, which benefits officers and families of fallen officers.
Since 1972, the LA Police Memorial Foundation has raised more than $14.5 million for families of officers killed in the line of duty. Brawl at City Hall is their biggest boxing event of the year, pitting LAPD's boxing team against police and fire departments from Pasadena, West Covina, San Diego, and Big Bear. The LA County Sheriff's Department has female fighter Marina Lizarraga in their corner.
So what do you expect here?
I'm here to win, sir. Nothing less.
Okay, so can you show me a little bit of what you're going to be doing?
Sure.
All right.
We're doing this for the Los Angeles Police Memorial Foundation. They're near and dear to our hearts. I've forged a lot of close friendships with police officers, and I feel really special about representing the department.
I just personally would like to take the time to thank everybody that came out to support. Obviously, it's a rainy Saturday in the middle of July that we didn't expect, and we still have tons of people coming out here to support us.
While fighting for a good cause. In downtown LA, Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
All 9 matches were set to take place outdoors, but had to move indoors to City of Angels boxing gym because of heavy rain. Well, every year on the second Tuesday night in August, crime takes a step back as the streets fill with kids, families, police officers, and anyone who wants to celebrate community. Anna Marcos brings us a national night out event in LA's Southeast Division.
It's how we do it, baby!
Clipper Darrell is on watch on National Night Out in South LA. Call him a sort of community peacemaker and cheerleader, and of course, a fan of all things Clippers. Tonight, he's got some advice for how to get along with police.
You have to understand who the police are. When they don't know who you are, let them understand who you are and quit getting belligerent, quit getting hype. You know what I'm saying? Calm down and say, hey, my name is Raul. I didn't know where I was going. I'm sorry, officer.
Tonight is indeed about both sides understanding each other. National Night Out started in 1984 to bring communities and their police officers together to band against crime and take back their streets. Since then, the annual event has grown to include 37 million people in communities all across the country.
We've transformed in how we do business. We're much more part of the community than we ever were.
Here in LA's Southeast Division, the National Night Out movement has been growing in spite of police and racial unrest in much of the country.
What I notice is an increase of people coming out and people really wanting to see and do things and kind of mending the relationships.
We can be one big, happy community striving together for the excellence of Los Angeles.
An enthusiastic standing ovation for Mayor Eric Garcetti, who stopped by to spend some face time with people on the street.
But it all starts with the community. One person at a time coming out of their home saying, these are our streets and we're going to reclaim them.
If we can get all the community to come as one to work towards peace and understanding. That's what works for me.
Despite a recent uptick in crime, tonight at least, the kids, the families, the cops, even the dogs, all seem to be coming together and reclaiming their streets. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Communities across LA held National Night Out, including downtown LA and Hollywood. And social media played a big part as law enforcement and folks around the country shared their special moments of National Night Out. That's the focus of This Week in Tweets. LAPD's Ruby Malachi posted some photos of the evening, writing hashtag National Night Out at LAPD Rampart. It's great to take part in this incredible community building event. Councilmember Jose Huizar shared his own photos, tweeting, National Night Out is about law enforcement coming together to make our neighborhoods safe. While Felipe Fuentes met residents in Sylmar, posting, thanks LAPD Captain Todd Chamberlain for keeping our neighborhoods safe. And on the East Coast, New York Police Department posted a pic of an officer jumping rope with some girls, writing National Night Out, promoting police community through dialogue, sharing food, raffles, and jumping rope. And that's a look at This Week in Tweets. While gang violence spills over into social media, a former LAFD chief pilot is honored, and LA heeds the call for water conservation. All these stories and more in City Beat. Los Angeles Police Chief Charlie Beck addressed a recent upswing in gang-related shootings in South LA that left one man dead and a dozen people injured. During a news conference, the chief said that the violence stems from a long-standing feud between rival gangs, not to postings on social media. Social media posts with hashtags 100 Days, 100 Nights and Pray for LA suggested a possible increase in gang activity. Beck said the violence has not been linked to social media.
We have not seen any increase in events that we directly tie to this, but we're looking very closely at it.
The city of LA has met and surpassed Mayor Eric Garcetti's goal of 10% water reduction by this summer. Since the rollout of the mayor's executive directive in October 2014, LA residents and businesses leaped to action by altering water use and taking advantage of conservation rebate offers by the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. The city of Los Angeles reduced its daily per capita water use by more than 13% this year when compared to the same time last year. The mayor encouraged folks to keep saving the drop, saying every bit counts. Councilmember Mitchell Englander joined Los Angeles Fire Department Chief Ralph Terrazas to dedicate the West Hills helicopter landing area in honor of former LAFD Chief Pilot Glenn V. Smith, who passed away in 2011 after a battle with cancer. The West Hills site is one of the city's 32 helispots, which serve as landing areas for LAFD helicopters to take on fuel and water or evacuate patients. Officials also announced the beginning of the fire department's annual $3.5 million 150-day contract for the Erickson helitanker, a large helicopter capable of dropping 2,600 gallons of water, more than 7 times the amount of LAFD helicopters at a time on wildfires. LAFD Chief Pilot Glenn Smith was twice awarded the LAFD's Medal of Valor during his long career with the department and was the first African-American pilot at the Los Angeles Fire Department. Department of Recreation and Parks Councilmember Gilbert Cedillo and community members gathered recently for the grand opening ceremony of Patton Street Park and Community Garden. The new features include meandering walkways, fitness equipment, boulders for climbing, and safety surfacing surrounding a shipwrecked boat and octopus that children can climb on. An open play area houses a 4-seat merry-go-round, pendulum swing, and a small sand pit. A 19-foot-long custom metal slide is accessible by steps or boulders and whisks users from the upper park area to the lower. The far northern portion of the park is dedicated for use as a community garden. Additional park amenities include drought-tolerant landscaping, high-efficiency irrigation system, security gate, LED lighting, and community-designed mosaic art on custom seat walls. Patton Street Park is the 33rd park to open as part of the city's 50 Parks initiative. An urban dance event where performers dance their heart out, a musical celebration of a famous bunny and his Looney Tune pals, and a street event that highlights a unique LA neighborhood. All these in this week's Things to Do. World of Dance Tour is the largest urban dance event that has now become the most authentic international touring dance competition of its kind. Currently consisting of 15 U.S. domestic dates and 15 internationally licensed regions, World of Dance focuses on the art of street dancing and today's new age choreography. The world's best top dance troupes, hundreds of participants, and thousands of spectators enjoy performance festival settings where creativity is displayed and rewarded. While competing dancers are judged ever so closely, the spirit of each event is that of community over competition. Come watch the LA and World Finals as international groups participate in a global celebration acknowledging the world's best dancers at the Los Angeles Convention Center on Saturday, August 15th and 16th from noon to 10 p.m. For more, visit worldofdance.com. Warner Brothers presents Bugs Bunny at the Symphony 25th Anniversary. Join Los Angeles Philharmonic for a look back at 25 hilarity-filled years. Bugs Bunny and his Looney Tune pals have teamed up with live orchestras, playing those phenomenal scores, bringing audiences to their feet in laughter, cheers, and applause. The official Bugs Bunny at the Symphony Anniversary Party takes place at the Hollywood Bowl, where you'll see and hear Warner Brothers' greatest animated shorts, plus exciting surprises. Expect favorites like What's Opera, Doc?, The Rabbit of Seville, and Zoom and Board, as well as the live orchestra world premiere of Long-Haired Hair. Check it out on Saturday, August 15th. For tickets and information, visit hollywoodbowl.com. And watch your favorite bands play for free during Echo Park Rising, a neighborhood event in its 5th year that focuses on the music, creativity, diversity, and small businesses of Echo Park. There are multiple stages and activities throughout the weekend located on main routes of Sunset Boulevard, Glendale Boulevard, Alvarado Avenue, and Echo Park Avenue. In addition to the lineup of artists performing, shops, galleries, restaurants come together to celebrate the vibrancy of this eclectic boulevard. On August 14th through the 17th, more than 300 bands will descend on the neighborhood of Echo Park for one weekend of free outdoor shows. For more, visit epr.la. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kane. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitybeview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.